Before coming here, I would say that, you know, we just kind of got into the rut, you know, and, you know, I'm someone that's always been into self-improvement and things of that nature, but I kind of just, at one point, just kind of just made the determination that it was just typical. Like, it was just, this is the way it works. You know, I work a lot, I travel a lot. That was my main role in our relationship. You know, we didn't see each other that often, and we disconnected. And I just kept saying to myself, well, this is typical. This will pass because the kids will get older, and it will pass. And you know, I just, when I looked at my life, I looked at my life as falling short in every area that was important to me. My kids wanted more time for me. My wife wanted more time for me. My job wanted more time for me. And I was getting fatter and fatter every day. So, you know, it was just, I was just falling short everywhere. But again, you know, I'd read books, I'd try to make small changes, and they were just small incremental changes that didn't really materially affect anything. And then I would just fall back into the rut again. So it was just kind of this cycle, this never-ending cycle.
And you came to this event?
Yeah, so I remember I was driving back from a retreat that I had with my sales team, and I got a phone call from Tiffany on the way home, and she said, listen, I found this woman who I think could really help us. And she's having a 3-day retreat in New Jersey in about a month, and she's offering us a really special deal to go. And when I first heard that, well, no, she knew how to frame it to me. She knew how to sell it to me. She said she's certified by Tony Robbins, and I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan. So I was sold after that. But so I said, yeah, well, that sounds great. And of course, I start worrying about work. How am I taking 3 days off of work? And then I look down at my phone, and I'm like, oh, shit. No, I'm in London that week. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I kind of heard in her voice, that, you know, she was really disappointed. And, you know, I just kind of finished the ride, and I got home, and we spoke about it. And, you know, I made the necessary arrangements to be here. And I'm glad that I did. Because when I did get here, I mean, it was really incredible for me, because I remember sitting down, and we had a blast, because a lot of it we found comical, because, you know, whether it's the video with the nail in the head or whatever it may be, or the woman translator, whatever it is, it was just funny because it was our reality, right? And we were getting a kick out of it, but I just kept taking notes, and just I kept saying to myself, wow, how did I not know about this before? How is this not taught in schools? How is this not required before you get married? Like, how is this not at every corporate boardroom, right? The importance of, you know, the masculine and the feminine, them together and celebrating it and everything else. And I was just blown away. I really was blown away. And, you know, at the beginning, I'd be truthful, at the beginning when I saw you and Paul on stage, I was like, really? Seriously? And then what happened was I actually talked myself into suspending my belief about whether that was real or not, and just really paying attention to the content and whether it would serve me. And I got to that point where, yes, it would serve me. And then, of course, I've gotten to know you guys, and believe me, it's real, getting to know you the way that we have. But it was a true gift. It really was a true gift that Tiffany called me that day, and we were able to find you and Paul in the program, and all of you. I'm a guy, and I like to fix things, and I like to have tools. Like, I like to succeed, and what this program gave me was tools, right? It gave me real tools that I could implement. I also like the fact that I was looking at myself rather than the relationship. Because what was going wrong with couple counseling is, I know what I was doing for couple counseling. I was like, okay, what am I going to bring up this week, right? What did she do wrong this week so I can bring that up and the therapist can say I'm right and she's wrong? And it wasn't about that with this program. It's like, what could I be doing differently? I mean, the big thing for me was the difference between the feminine and the masculine. I mean, just eye-opening for me because, yeah, I did think my wife was crazy. I did. I mean, the storms, I was like, whoa, what's going on there? And when they happened, like, I just couldn't get out of there fast enough. And you know, I took everything personally. I'm a very sensitive person, so, you know, it could be something, the smallest thing that she would say, and I would just take it so personally, no matter what it was. So I couldn't live through those storms. It was impossible. And you know, to learn about the fact that the worst thing I could do is walk away. The worst thing that I could do is listen to the words. What? She's going to talk for 2 or 3 hours and scream and cry, and I'm not supposed to listen to the words? All right, I'll try it. All right, I'll give it a try. I'm a stormtrooper. And then also, yeah, I mean, we have busy lives like all of you do, and the medal report. Like, just understanding how important it was that she actually hears specifics about my day. Not her ask me how my day was and me say, oh, it was good. And what kind of impact that would have on her, right? So, you know, it's just that the difference between the feminine and the masculine and the tools that we have so that we can better understand each other and so we can celebrate. Like, we laugh about it. We laugh about it now. We can laugh about certain things, and it's fun.
Here's the thing. You're a guy. There's some incredible men who are here too. And as Paul said, and he's going to, I'm sure, say again tomorrow, it's not always so obvious to a guy whether or not this is male-friendly and if there really is a home here. And so what would you say to your brothers here and what they're thinking about?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, from my point of view, being a man, the first thing I think about is, you know, financial security. So I think about the financial part of it. And, you know, it doesn't matter how much money there is or isn't. It's just, it's a fear. It's something that we all think about. And, you know, I looked at that when I went through my decision process, and it was very, very certain to me that it was well worth the investment. Not that I thought we were heading for a divorce, but when you look at the cost of divorce, when you look at the cost of losing a job, losing a customer, losing a sale, losing a relationship, my boys, I have 3 boys, right? Wanting to be a good role model for them so that, you know, they have an easier life, a more productive life. When I look at it like that, it just kind of, it squashed that fear away. And then as far as, you know, the other part, I mean, there are a lot of women in the room, right? So, you know, what I would say to you is that we have a lot to learn from these women that are in the room. I've learned a lot from them, Amen. A tremendous amount from them and their energy, being around their energy and what they've brought to the table. And then there are a fair amount of men, and each year there's more and more men. And it's really, if you get a chance, you know, talk to Joe, talk to some of the others, Chris, talk to some of the others that have gone through the program. I mean, it's been fantastic. It really has been, in terms of us creating not only a community of all of us, but being able to also have that community of men and actually have a 7th power.
Fantastic.
It's pretty fantastic.
Fantastic. Give them a hand, everybody. Incredible.